It was nowhere near that.
Okay, it was more disrespectful, yes, but as a Knicks fan, we're not known to have big dunkers ever. We never really had like a major dude that's dunking on people. Maybe Amari, probably the best one we've ever had. So for us, just that John Stark shit was but he didn't do any games though.
Who?
Skywalker.
Kenny Walker, whatever his name was, Kenny Skywalker. He old school dude. He ain't last long.
Get him out of here.
Anyway, we are live. Welcome everybody to Shoot Your Shot podcast. Episode 14.
14. We in effect.
Oh shit.
Yep. There it is. So welcome back. It is Thursday, July 1st. July's officially begun. Does that mean summer has officially begun too? I don't know how that works.
Summer came in last week, a week and a half ago. So
well, here's to the summer.
The first of the month, bitches. Wake up.
Yep. Pay the rent. Buy that fresh sack of the biggest sack of weed of the month, if that's what you do.
Small.
Yeah. Make sure them utilities is ready to go. You got to get ready because July is the party month. We got the 4th. Y'all got any plans for the 4th of July or y'all keeping it at the crib?
I work.
I got a barbecue. My brother's birthday is the 6th, so it'll be a birthday / 4th of July barbecue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a conversation that I've been having lately. It's completely unsports related, but people who have birthdays around holidays, like whether or not that's like a positive or a negative. Like I don't have anything close, so I can't even imagine.
I'm here to tell you, it's a negative. My birthday's in December, and when it comes to that double gift shit, you can wrap it up. I don't get that. I'm in the middle of Thanksgiving and Christmas, so you got people that's like, "Oh, I'm broke. I had to spend money on Thanksgiving, and Christmas is coming up." So it's one gift, nigga. So you got to either be happy for my birthday or be happy for Christmas.
Facts, because my daughter was born on December 24th, so she's getting one gift. She getting one gift, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. One gift. It may be a big gift, but
it's a huge gift.
One gift. You ain't getting double gifts over here. So
my homie is he's also born on December 24th. Shout out to Fuzz. Yeah, he actually I don't think I've ever really asked him. I need to ask him how he likes that. But let's get down to it. Got a couple things to talk about today. First and foremost, the biggest news I think coming out of sports right now is the NCAA is basically clearing student athletes to pursue their name, image, and likeliness in deals and make some money. I know we all have a lot of opinions about this, so I'm gonna let y'all go first. Vic, we'll start with you.
I mean, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I mean, it's just about time. Like you guys been using these kids for how many years now? How long has the NCAA been going on in sports in general? And they've never made a penny, nickel, or dime. And if they try to, you suspend them or kick them out or get rid of them, and their scholarship is gone. So it's about damn time. You know what I mean? And I feel whoever's been suspended or, got in trouble for making money, give them that money back that you fined them for or whatever they got in trouble for. Like Reggie Bush. Didn't Reggie Bush get banned from USC or something like that when they found he was taking money? Like everyone that got in trouble from the past, nah.
The whole Michigan basketball team.
They need
Jalen Rose, Chris Webber.
Yeah. Come up off them reparations for everybody that got in trouble in the past. It's about damn time. That's all. That's it.
Yeah, I like it. Now hopefully this will give players the opportunity to stay longer than 1 year, especially in basketball. This one and done was basically due to money. Why stay in college when I can jump to the NBA and get that money? Now that you have the opportunity to make some sort of money in college, then hopefully these players, will stick around for longer than 1 year. But I do agree with Vic. That was going to be my biggest thing. What about the players in the past that got fined or in trouble, suspended, whatever the situation is? Are you going to go back and fix what's right now? Hopefully they do, but I don't think they will. You like we said, we mentioned the whole Michigan basketball team, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, all those guys, was at one point in deep water from doing things like that, and hopefully they'll go back and fix records. I know teams that got NCAA titles expunged and taken away from them, and their names is out of books because of what was going on due to that, and that's just wrong. So hopefully moving forward, these players to have the chance to stay in college for at least 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I think Vic brought up Reggie Bush. He's probably one of the most, like the biggest case that, here. I mean, I pretty much didn't he lose his Heisman? He lost they took everything from this man. So
give it back to him.
Yeah, I think they have to do something. Whether it's like even if it's bullshit, give these dudes like a big ceremony, officially announce that everything that was taken from them is given back. Is placed back in the books. If they lost trophies, give these dudes their trophies. If they lost rings, give them back their rings. Anything that they have to do to make it up. This is a good step forward, but it really needs to this is an opportunity for the NCAA to appear like they give a fuck about these student athletes, which is the biggest knock, I think, with the NCAA. They don't appear to really give a fuck. It's like them existing is enough, and that's not the case.
And it's not.
It's not. So I think this is going to be a good opportunity for them to save a little face with people, to humanize them a little bit, say, okay, we realize, we've been stopping these kids from getting money for a long time. We took things away. We, in some cases, ruined some guys' careers.
Yeah.
Who knows how Johnny Manziel's career goes if he doesn't start it right off the bat, with issues about selling autographs and being painted as this dude, that's doing all kinds of shit detrimental to his team just because he was trying to live, trying to eat some food, trying to buy a shirt. I mean, I think it was ESPN 30 for 30 that they did on the Fab Five, and Chris Webber was like, "Yo, I'm seeing kids, white kids, with my face on his shirt, and I can't eat at night.
He can't even get a decent meal. That's the worst part. You in these schools, and for one, a lot of these schools, the location of them, they don't have much around them, so it's pretty much everything is on campus. So it sucks that you got how many kids? You got 15, 16 on a basketball team. You got 50 or more on a football team, and they all trying to work in 2 to 3 restaurants on campus, and it's like it's not enough to go around. So of course you're gonna have kids, starving, and then you don't want them to do what I look at it is you don't want them to go the other route. You try to keep these kids on a straight path, trying to get them to go professional. You don't want them staring off into drugs or anything like that, So this like I said, this is great. It's about time, and hopefully the NCAA don't attach a bunch of rules and little tedious details behind it to where they get a big percentage or they got to break bread or whatever, because they should come first.
Yeah, and even if they have to tie it to, these dudes got to take a class, and it's like a money management class or something like that, which I think everybody needs anyway. because a lot of these dudes are coming from a place where they don't have money, and then to just have a bunch thrown at them isn't going to help anything either, because then they're just going to spend it. But if you give these dudes a decent amount of money, or let them earn a decent amount of money, show them how to use that money, then I feel like the side effects from this can be so positive going forward if they do it the right way.
Yeah, most definitely.
Vic, did I see the show Ballers? No, I don't watch what Johnson makes. He is trash.
Wait, you hate The Rock?
Yeah. How could you hate The Rock?
I don't hate The Rock. I hate the movies The Rock chooses to make.
Well, it's not a movie. It's a
show.
Yeah, it's a show. It's like the inside look of what goes on the football team or whatever. It's pretty decent. I mean, I don't be having the time to really watch it. So what I do is I wait till these shows are over, and then I'll binge watch the whole series on like a Netflix or whatever. But I caught an episode or two. It's not bad. I would recommend, if you're a full football fan and you really love how the football thing works, I would advise that you take a look at it and give it some time.
And I would suggest, rather than watch that show, watch Any Given Sunday, because it's a great movie.
That's a trash movie. That shit is garbage. It shit is like 2.5, damn near 3 hours long. It's a bunch of nothing. That shit is trash.
That movie is great, man. That is like the football training day.
Oh, trash, man.
Vic, I see your face, but I don't know what side you're falling on.
What's this? Why are you bringing it here?
Because I don't know.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's Al Pacino. Come on, let's be serious.
Yeah, Pacino, Jamie Foxx. Like, come on, man.
Come on.
I was asleep after an hour and a half. I'm like, where is this movie going? Like, Jesus Christ. You can't. Nobody can tell me it's not a long movie, man. It's a long movie.
I really don't remember.
It's a long movie, and after about an hour and a half, damn near 2 hours, I'm like, "Where's this movie going? Like, what are you trying to say?" So I don't know if that's your cup of tea, guy. You rock with that. I stand clear away.
Well, I mean, there are definitely better football movies out there, but no, to answer your question, I haven't seen Ballers. I think I have seen like one episode, but that was about it. But yeah, you think they're going to put a cap on how much money these kids can make? I feel like they kind of have to.
Of course they will. They're not stupid.
I mean, I wouldn't even say a cap. I would think it's more of we get a percentage once you hit this amount, and you must donate to the school, and the school must get this, and
my thing is why? Like, did these owners donate anything? Like, these kids are making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Well, not all of them. Like, you do have some of them that generate millions of dollars, and then you have some of them that you also have to factor in the school. Like, let's just take a school like Alabama. A school like Alabama is going to get the promotion and the publicity anyway. So you necessarily might not be that great. But since you are on Alabama, we are giving you the publicity and the promotion. How many quarterbacks play at Alabama but go to the NFL and stink it up? The same thing goes for USC. How many USC quarterbacks are terrific in college but go to the NFL and stink it up?
Man, line.
Yeah. So honestly, you have to factor in the school. The school is giving you this promotion, this publicity. They are making you look like the shit. And and then when you get to the NFL, you stink it up. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? So
question. So should let's just say they're doing it by a percentage or whatever. So let's say you have a school like Duke, who's probably bringing in a lot of money. And then you have a low tier, I can't think of one off the top, Davidson or whatever, who's not bringing as much. should Duke obviously Duke percentage should be higher than Davidson. Am I correct? Where Davidson players get more money because the school isn't generating as much.
What player from Davidson is really going to be bringing in money? That's what I'm saying. Like
that's my point.
A player from Davidson is not really going to be getting as much. He may not get nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to get hit. But a school like Duke now, if you're a basketball player at Duke, because their football team is shit, you know. So if you're a basketball player at Duke, and let's say you're a JJ Redick type of guy, where you're attracting so much attention and your face is on just about everything, and I'm pretty sure they'll tell you, yeah, once you hit this certain amount, yeah, you got to do this or you got to do that. I mean, they could be bitches about it and be like, listen, in order to do this, you got to pay your full tuition. You know, now you have no other choice but to come out your pocket with $50,000 to $60,000 every year for tuition. You know what I'm saying? So they could go that route, or they could say, listen, once you hit a certain point, we require X, Y, and Z, and all this, that, and the third. But you know what this means? You're going to have to get a lawyer. You're going to have to get some sort of accountant. This is all things that you're going to have to do earlier now, as opposed to wait until you get into the pros. You know, you're going to have to get that lawyer early. You're going to have to get that accountant early. Hey, you could probably hire one of your homies. I'm pretty sure one of your friends is in some sort of accounting class and know what's going on. You could hire him, you know. So I just look at it like it's a great opportunity because it prevents the students from straying. And that's what we didn't want, you know. A lot of these guys wasn't even going to go to college anymore. They were opting to go to a G League or a side league for a year or two and then go pro, because all you got to do is be a certain age. It's not necessarily going to college that has you, going to the pros.
So do you think this affects the G League moving forward?
I don't see what effect could it have. It's not like the G League is generating millions and millions of dollars. Like,
maybe they might have lesser players committing now to the G League.
I mean, that's what we want. We rather you put your skills into the college, and then when you're ready, go to the league. I honestly look at it like a player in the G League doesn't amount to a player that's coming out of college. I could be wrong, but it's like when I look at the G League, like you didn't make it, bro. You in the G League because you didn't make it. You know, you went to college, you didn't get drafted. So now you're going to go to the G League and play for 2-3 years and try to get your game up in order to be ready for the pros when you could have did that in college. You know what I'm saying? Think about 20, 30 years ago when guys was playing 2, 3, 4 years in college and coming to the league. They lasted longer, as opposed to these guys, these one and dones. Some of these guys be thinking they lottery picks, and next thing they're not even getting drafted. So if it takes another year to do it in college, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You can make more money. How much is the G League really paying these players? Nothing.
Not much.
Maybe 60,000.
I don't even think you get that much. Like you probably get 30 something to 40. You probably like a regular paycheck. And you got to pay for everything out your pocket.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah.
So $35,000 is the average G League salary.
Yeah. So look at that. I make more than that as a security guard.
Well, let me hold something.
So I'm gonna say one name, and it's going to
say bye-bye.
Fall on both sides. Sebastian Telfair.
What happened?
Sebastian Telfair at his peak in high school, if we all remember this, was on the cover of Slam with LeBron James.
Yeah.
We remember this, right?
Yeah.
If he got a couple $1,000s to go to college, he instead of dipping so he gets some money and get out the hood, he took the route he got, and his career amounted to essentially nothing. If he would have went to college, learned the game, and making money, not struggling. Maybe got a jump shot. Maybe developed his game. Stayed 2-3 years, and then went into the NBA. Who knows what he could have been?
Knows what he could have been. He's not the only one. Look at guys like Omar Cook. I know you remember Omar Cook, a St. John's alum. He was great, but didn't stay in college. But he needed to get to the NBA. You know, he needed to get to the NBA because he wanted that money. He needed that money. And he went to the NBA. Within a year or two, he was bounced up out of the NBA. Like some of these guys aren't it just isn't that good. They aren't that good for the league yet. And I think college, as opposed to the G League, because I think the G League is just a little too wild. You got players from all over. You got a lot of walk-ons, a lot of guys just trying to get in. So it's like playing basketball at your local gym, you know? There's no real organization there. There's no real construction there. Whereas college teams, you got a real coach, a coach that's known. You know, you got structure, you got a lot more rules and regulations that you got to follow. It's more in line with what the league, the professional, whether it's basketball or football or baseball, it's more in line of what the professional is asking for. Whereas opposed to the G League, come on, they be in the G League bugging, they be wilding out, they be partying, they be smoking, they be drinking, they be doing all sorts of stuff. You know,
Like
I mean, you know, hey, it would, but once you get to the big league, it hits you
all that stuff out.
right. It hits you too hard. Whereas college, not saying they don't do it in college, but you know when to turn it off. Yeah, they regulate it. You know when to turn it off. You know when I can do it, when I can't do it, how long I gotta go without it. There's a time period. Whereas in the G League, it's free fall, man. It's whatever we got do to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, even at a high school level, I mean, I was playing basketball, you know, full time Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday tournaments. But I mean, we still got down, we still drank, we still chill with hoes, like we still did all that. But you know, at a certain point, you got to chill, or if we got a game, maybe you don't fuck shorty over here. Like how to balance it, but it's when there's not a lot on the line, like there is, at that level. You don't really care as much, especially in the G League. It's like, do I really care? Because a lot of, for a lot of dudes, 35 is not bad. Like you could live on that when you had nothing before. So, it really just depends on how serious the individual takes it. Because, I mean, how many successful G League stories do we have?
A few.
Langston Galloway is sitting on the bench for the Phoenix Suns. I only know him because he was a Knick, and he's really the only one that I know of.
What do you want to consider successful? A guy
being in the
NBA, just getting to the NBA is like
I'm setting the bar low.
All right, so if you want to set the bar low, then yeah, you got a couple of guys, but how long do they last? What do they get out of the NBA? Like that's what I would call the success story. Like if you're working at a job and you've been there for a couple of years and you've been dying for a promotion or can't wait to get this promotion, and you get the promotion and then you get fired within a couple of days, is that really a success story? Like, I wouldn't say so.
That's why I use my example. Langston Galloway has been in the league for 9 years.
All right, yeah, but so that's one, because he's been able to not just make it, but he's been able to stick around. You have your few guys every year, that be in G leagues and they come up and they don't go back and they become role players and get minutes here and there, but it's like, what if these guys would have stayed in college for a couple of years? What if they would have played they way through college to the NBA as opposed to going early and going to the G League and stuff like that? All right, you had somebody just mention Danny Green. So from the looks of it, Danny Green just, he played 4 years in college, but he just wasn't the man to come out of. Not everyone is capable of making it to the league. Like you look at the Fab Five in college, all five of them was nice, but when it came to the NBA, it's like, bruh, all five of you guys aren't that great. We're gonna take this guy and that guy, and that's about it. Other
Kendrick
than that, huh?
Kendrick Nunn.
Kendrick Nunn is another one. You got some, like I said, there's a few of them, but it's like, imagine if they would have just took their time and said, you know what, I don't have to rush, because why make 30-something thousand in the G League when I can make 60-something, 50-something thousand and better at college? Chris Middleton was drafted, actually. He was sent to the G League after he wasn't good enough to stay on the NBA team, but he was drafted by the Detroit Pistons. The same thing for Danny Green. Danny Green was drafted in the NBA first. He was a second-round draft pick by the Cavaliers first. Then, since he wasn't good enough, you were sent to the G League to polish up your skills and get better. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what route. Like I said, this is just better because it'll prevent guys from rushing and trying to get that money, because that's what these guys are leaving for. They leaving to the NBA, to the NFL, to MLB. They trying to get that money, and then they don't make it, and they don't get nothing out the deal. So stay in college another year or two.
Well, we know one thing for sure is there'll never be a shortage of dudes who can't play in the NBA. So I think that G League will be just fine.
Right.
I want to move it on. I want to talk about the Suns first and foremost because they are the Western Conference champions as of last night. Chris Paul will make his debut in the NBA Finals, along with pretty much the rest of his team. I don't know anybody else on the squad that has.
Who?
Crowder.
Yeah, Crowder. Jay Crowder.
He's been to the finals?
Yeah.
He was there last year with the Miami Heat.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty much it, though. Yeah, I don't see anybody else. So
everybody else is pretty much their first time going.
Yeah. So Chris Paul had the game we said he had to have. What did he drop? I think he dropped 40.
41.
So he did exactly what he needed to do, like KD did, in
that game.
Yeah. So I'm happy for him. Honestly, it doesn't matter who gets in on the East. I will be rooting for Chris Paul. So take my pick here and book it all the way to the end. Chris Paul in 6. And I'm happy for a lot of the dudes on this team because there's a lot of dudes who very similar to my Knicks squad. A lot of dudes that other teams didn't want, and they've managed to put together a really good team. Obviously, and make it all the way to the finals. You could say injuries had a big thing. Had something to do with it. You can say a lot of things. The fact of the matter is they are there, and I'm congratulating them. And what do y'all think?
I'll let Vic get out his negativity first.
No negativity. I mean, it's great for Chris Paul to finally, silence the critics. He somewhat got the monkey off his shoulder. He's finally made it to his NBA Finals, one of the greatest point guards of all time. In my opinion, he's better than Rondo, but some people don't agree. But that's another story. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I know. But no, I'm definitely happy. I'm a Devin Booker fan, so I'm glad Devin Booker made it to the finals in his young career. Ayton, them boys look good. They look like they hungry. And hunger will get you very far. So, yeah, congratulations to the Phoenix Suns and Chris Paul for finally getting to the finals. What is this? How many seasons is this? 16th? 16th. Hey, listen, some people don't make it at all.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Carmelo.
Hey, we didn't have to take that shot. We didn't have to do that.
I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for them. They went out there and did exactly what they needed. Like I said, Chris Paul didn't need to depend on his teammates. Don't depend on them. Don't wait for them to get you there. You want to get to the finals, put this shit on your back and do it yourself. And that's what he did. You know, I think he was trying to let his team do it, and he's seen I'm gonna end up playing a game 7. I need to take this shit over now. And he took it.
30 points in the second half.
Right, in the second half, and I believe 20 in the fourth quarter or 18 in the fourth quarter, something like that. So he pretty much locked in late in the game. And he did what he needed to do. The biggest thing was he was real efficient. I believe he shot 16 to 24 from the field. You know, so he was real efficient. He doesn't really turn the ball over, but he didn't have bad shots. I think he hit like 8 3-pointers, which is like
he had 0 turnovers.
0 turnovers, but that's normal. He really don't.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 8 assists and 0 turnovers.
Right. He really doesn't turn the ball over much anyway. So, but the 3-pointers, I believe he had 8 3-pointers or something like that, 7 or 8 3-pointers.
Yeah, he was 7 to 8 from 3,
right,
shot 6 to 24, and only 35 minutes too.
Right. So, you know, he was a walking bucket. He was efficient to the fullest. And like I said, he pretty much single-handedly said, you know what, you guys, I'm not playing no more, man. Like, you know, like they said, maybe the first few games he had to shake off some rust. You know, he was still probably feeling wounded from COVID and a little woozy and drained. But last night he didn't show no signs of that. So, you know, congratulations to him and the Suns. Monty Williams deserves a lot of respect for this. He played smart. He did everything he needed to do. He didn't overdo and overuse his bench. He didn't overuse his guys. And when it was time to change up tempo, he knew what he was doing with Cameron Payne and Cam Johnson, getting those guys in there and letting Chris Paul and Bridges and the slower guys get a little break and speeding up that game with those guys. So I'm waiting to see who they're gonna play.
I don't think it matters at this point.
I really don't think it matters either. Giannis is gonna miss tonight's game, so the injury is a little more serious than we would want. It's not as serious as it looked, because they said everything came back negative. There's no ligament damage, no structural damage. So that's a good sign. Hopefully Milwaukee can play well and postpone this thing, and he can possibly be back by the finals. If not, then, you know, see you in November. If they play, I just feel like Milwaukee would give them a better challenge than Atlanta. If they do play Atlanta, I think this is over in maybe 5 games, 4 to 5 games.
Well, we'll get to that. Any last words on the Suns?
I mean,
congrats.
Yeah, congrats to them. They did what we expected them to do. I mean, they didn't let their foot off the gas. They had the Clippers down 3-1. Everybody was looking for them to blow it. And, you know, they showed like, nah, we're not here to do that. We're not here to play games. We here to, you know, to take this thing and win this thing.
What is this, their second finals appearance?
I believe I think they've been there more times. I think this is their first since '93. And they won the finals, I believe, in '77 or something like that, with you know, some old school guys. But if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But
so 1993, they were in the finals.
Right, they lost to the Bulls in '93, and I believe they won a title in the '70s. I'm not mistaken.
76,
76 or 77. One of those years, they won a title, or they were there. And you know,
okay, around the same time the Knicks won their last championship.
Yeah,
Yo,
well,
what is with you today, bro? Like, did Obi Toppin take your girl or something? Like, what's going on? You just coming after the Knicks
man,
for no reason?
he picked the worst Nick to take your girl. Like Obi Toppin ain't even.
Exactly.
God damn.
At least give me Randall.
Yeah, right. At least give you a smooth New York Knicks player. He gave you Obi Toppin.
Somebody with money.
Yeah, right. Obi Toppin ain't even getting playing time. Jesus, man. Oh man, let me get out of the way of this crossfire. Let me get back before I get shot by mistake. I ain't trying to get shot by mistake. Jesus,
Oh
man,
man,
what's wrong with you guys? What's the tension about?
I don't know.
Man.
I just came to work, man, and then I'm just getting shots thrown at me left and right, man. Like,
Jesus. It's a lot of shooting going on between the two of you guys. Shit. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna put an end to this shit, all right? The Knicks are at home and so is the goddamn Spurs, all right? So both of y'all, chill the fuck out.
And the Bulls.
Hey, I ain't shooting though. Like I ain't shooting. Oh man. Jesus.
well, once again, yeah, Vic, damn is right. Shout outs to the Suns. Congratulations to the Suns team and Chris Paul. This is Shoot Your Shot Podcast, episode 14. Thank you for rocking with us. We are going to talk the losers of the Western Conference Finals now because there's a lot to talk about. I mean, I believe I was the only one who picked the Suns out of all three of us to win this. So y'all go ahead, defend the Clippers. What happened? Joe, you go first.
I mean, there's nothing to defend. Injuries got the best of them, and Pandemic Pete showed up when we needed him to show up. I mean, there's nothing much you can say. Like they are who we knew they were. Like I always said, everybody wants to give Ty Lue this praise, and I'm like, bruh, like he doesn't show me anything fancy.
He never been that guy for me.
If you look at the team, the starting five, other than Paul George, are role bench players. They shouldn't be in nobody's starting lineup, other than Reggie Jackson. I'll give Reggie Jackson a little effort, but with the exception of Paul George, I mean, Marcus Morris is not a starter. He's a bench guy. Batum is a bench guy. Terrence Mann is a bench guy. Like, these are bench guys playing starters roles. Beverly is a bench guy. I always said they should have got rid of him. They should have got rid of him and kept Lou Williams. That's where the mistake came.
Yeah, that was that trade. We talked about it before, but
Right.
even they gave Rondo no minutes. So
Right.
you brought in Rondo for playoff Rondo and then
nothing.
didn't use
And
him.
you didn't use him and utilize him. So it was just a lot of disarray going on in the Clippers, and that's what they known for. If you go back to the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin team, pretty much the same formula. If you go back even before with the Elton Brand, Quentin Richardson guys, the same thing going on. It's a lot of names, but not a lot of W's and not a lot of progression going on. You look at the regular season; it was an underachieved to me. Out of 72 games, but they were 48 and something like that. They only had like 48 wins or 46 wins. So it wasn't like they impressed me throughout the season. I wasn't impressed. It was never really a time where they impressed me, where it's like, no, did you see the Clippers? Like, holy shit, look at the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, what banner you really gonna hang? They could, that. I mean, a big ass. You hang up a banner with a big ass A for effort, like
Participation.
yeah, like what we giving out participation trophies now, like nah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put it all on the Kawhi's injury because I do feel they had enough to make this a series and possibly even win the series, you know. But I think they messed up falling down 0-2. They didn't take advantage of Chris Paul missing the first two games. They went out there and let, you know, Cameron Payne run around them and run all over them for 2 wins. And that's what hurt them. They never bounced back from that. And Paul George put his all in game 5 and couldn't do much in game 6. And that was it.
Pandemic P.
That's the end of the story.
Vic,
What you got?
Was he really pandemic P though? Because like Joe said, he gave it all in game 5. He didn't play horrible in game 6. He didn't shoot in game 6. 15 shot attempts, he made 6. Where outside of Marcus Morris in game 6, where was everybody else that he needed?
I mean, Reggie Jackson didn't show up game 6.
Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Patrick.
Terrence Mann didn't show up the whole series. I don't know if that
didn't show up.
I don't know if that's coaching fault or if that's the player's fault. Because you got to think about it like this: Terrence Mann can't command nothing. He can't ask for nothing.
Give me something.
No, I'm saying he can't on the court. He can't like demand the ball. He can't be like, yo, give it to me. He can't do that. He has to go based on the plays that's being called. So you gotta right now he's the third, fourth fiddle. You know, it goes Paul George, Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, and maybe Terrence Mann. Pat Bev might be ahead of him when it comes to who gets the shots. So that's something that you could possibly blame on Ty Lue. You know what I'm saying? What I would have did was once Terrence Mann showed me what he showed me against Utah, once this series started, it's on you, bro. You, Paul George, and Reggie Jackson are gonna be my 3 guys, and Marcus Morris will be the 4th, and everyone else will fall in line after that. But I'm gonna need you, like Terrence Mann should have been getting 15 to 17, 18 shots a game.
That didn't happen.
That's Ty Lue fault.
No, I agree with you all the way. You know, I mean, Paul George looked tired. He was fatigued. Out of everyone in the playoffs, he has 150 more minutes.
Yeah, he has 150 more minutes than everyone in the playoffs. He has played the most minutes than everyone.
So are we really gonna put this on Paul George? Because
I mean, you know what it is it just looks bad when you don't perform in the last game. I'm just letting you know that's just the way the story goes. Like
I don't think he played bad personally. He didn't shoot enough. He needed help.
He didn't shoot enough and he didn't shoot efficiently. What he was 6 for 16?
6 for 15.
That's bad.
1 for 6 from 3.
That's what I'm saying. Here's the thing: when your shot is not dropping, take it to the hole. Try to create something else. You are 1 for 6 from downtown. So that means you 5 for 9 in the paint or inside the line. Stick to that shit, bro. Stick to what's
factor.
I'm gonna tell you like this: shooting 3-pointers is tiring.
I know.
Like that shit is not easy. I would prefer me trying to get to the rack or trying to lay the ball up than to just keep shooting threes. When you don't have your legs, when you don't have the wind, and you don't have the energy, that's the last thing you want to do is keep shooting a 3. A 3-pointer is not going to help.
And I agree with Vic. I blame this whole series, the Clippers losing this whole series. I blame it on Tyronn Lue.
Yeah, definitely. I look at it like if you want to split the pie, Lue gets about 75 to 80%.
I'm giving it all to him.
I can't. I gotta give Paul George 10, 15%. He has to take something. He has to take some sort of blame.
Because he's the star of the team.
Right, yeah. And if it was anyone else, we would be giving that guy the blame as well. So it's not like when it comes to fatigue, I can't be like, oh, it's okay for him to get tired, but it's not okay for someone else to get tired. All these guys get tired. So tired is not really the excuse I need to use. You had a day off between games, just like everyone else. You go out there and you do your best, bro.
At the end of the day,
what I don't
at the
understand.
end of the day, Paul George did not have that game like Chris Paul had. He had a game where he made sure he put it on his back, won it for his team, like KD had in Game 5 or 6, whatever that was. He put him on the back. Even when they lost, KD had that game. Paul George put up 21, 2 assists, and like 7 rebounds.
He wasn't even his own team's leading scorer.
Marcus Morris had more points.
He put up 26.
That's not what a superstar does.
Paul George's not a superstar.
That's what they build him up to be.
Paul George is an all-star. That's it. He's an all-star.
But when your superstar is out, you become the superstar now.
He kind of did. It was when Kawhi missed what, 9 games, right? 8 or 9 games?
Yeah, something like 2, 6, 8 games.
Okay, so since Kawhi went down, Paul George averaged 20, almost 30, 11 and 6. I mean, that's superstar numbers in my opinion. Now, did he shoot great? Probably didn't shoot great.
You got to do it when it counts, bro. I would rather you have a bad Game 5 and come out Game 6, guns blazing, even if you lost.
They don't win Game 5.
Even that's what I just said. Even if you lost, then you come out. No matter what, you just gotta come out blazing, bro. You can't. It was a do or die game. I'm not asking you to do it 3 games in a row. Now, if this was Game 7, if he did it Games 5 and 6, and then Game 7 he fizzled out, then fine, fuck it. But this is Game 6. You gotta try to do it again. You got to. Like,
no, I agree, but
this is why I'm giving some of it. Not all, not even half, not even 20%. He deserves at least 10 to 15%. Because
Toronto losing it.
I say it's 50-50.
I don't. It's definitely not 50-50.
I'm giving stupid Pat Bev 5%.
My thing is with Toronto. My thing with Toronto is as JR mentioned. Why the fuck are you starting Reggie Jackson and Patrick Beverly together in the lineup? Number one, you start both of them, right?
Yeah.
So who the fuck is coming off the bench? Rondo. You would think I'm gonna put Rondo in when one of these guys is tired, right? Rondo didn't come in the game. Make it make sense.
I don't know the logic behind all of that either.
Make it make sense.
So here's my question: what is next for the Clippers? I think it's safe to say Rondo gone. He ain't staying.
I wouldn't stay. What you bring me over here for? To sit on the bench?
Yeah. Does Kawhi leave? Do they blow it all up? Do they get rid of Paul George? What do y'all think is next?
I think Paul George has another 2 to 3 years.
2 years, yeah. I think it all comes down to what Kawhi wants to do.
I think he wants to get out of there.
I don't know, honestly.
I don't think Paul George and Kawhi is the problem. I think the surrounding pieces are the problem. Like I said, you got a lot of role bench guys starting for you. Now, Marcus Morris can start if you want him to start. Due to Kawhi and Paul George taking the bulk of your shots and scoring the bulk of your points, then you don't need that many points from a Marcus Morris. But a Reggie Jackson, I'm not paying Reggie 80 to 100 million to stay. If he wants that, he can go.
Hey, if Dennis Schroeder could get 150 million, Reggie Jackson should be able to get a buck.
No, whoever gives Dennis Schroeder 150 million needs to be out of the NBA because you're
going to give Schroeder 180 million.
That's a good thing. Don't make the decisions anymore.
Yeah, I will hope not, because just when I was giving the Knicks hype and praise, all that should have turned around. So
I'll probably have to jump off a roof.
I don't think no one's this stupid to give Schroeder anything near that ball. If you're going to give Schroeder 180 million, it's going to be for 12 years.
Yeah, that's what I said. And that's probably, you're probably still overpaying because he ain't going to give you 12 good years. But
Look, and listen, I've when he still played for Atlanta, I walked past him at an Atlanta United game.
You snuffed him.
Nah, he's just a regular dude. Like I walked right past him and had to like, what was that? Like he a small little dude. He not gonna last in the NBA without. I mean, he was hurt this year. He's in comparison, I also walked past Cam Newton, and I don't have to look up to many people at 6'3". I had to look up to this motherfucker. He was like a fucking walking statue. Like,
Yeah, he's built like a linebacker.
yeah, like this dude was
plays
huge.
quarterback like one too.
Yeah, so I mean, just physically speaking, you can't give a dude that that small that kind of money. It's just it don't make sense. But so you think Kawhi? You think it all? Both y'all think if Kawhi stay, they keep it together, or
I mean, you got to make moves. The team is not good enough to win a title, and I've been saying that for 2 years. They wasn't good enough when Kawhi and Paul George first got there. They wasn't good enough to win the title, but it was like banking on those two. Like as long as we got those two guys, we got what it takes to win a title.
I disagree. I think this year Clippers healthy would have won it.
I don't know because they got too many up and down players. They're not consistently good.
Vic, you wouldn't change it up too much.
If Kawhi gives you his word, he's staying. Paul George is staying. Reggie Jackson decides, I take a pay cut to be with these guys, and you keep some of the pieces, like Joe said. You keep Morris. Morris is a solid player. Maybe you keep Zubac. Zubac is decent. He can give you a double-double, and you get these pieces that you might need. You get rid of a Patrick Beverly, or you keep him. You have him come off the bench. You limit him
to get rid of him.
Minutes. Or get rid of him.
You got to get rid of him. He does more harm than good.
You don't have to add another star person.
No.
Maybe another player that can give you 18 to 20 points on a consistent night, along with Paul George and Kawhi, and you got a decent bench that can surround them. I say let's run it back. Hopefully, we stay healthy next year, But like Vic said in the comment, now, if come to find out the Clippers training staff did some fucked up shit, if I'm Kawhi, you know what? I might leave because guess what? San Antonio did the same shit to me. I left. Now the same shit's happened to me in LA. You know what? I'm not going to deal with it. I'm out.
I don't know. I really don't know if all that is true or not. I think that's a lot of NBA drama and a lot of
could be
speculation. They don't have nowhere else to go with it. I don't know, but yeah, I would keep Morris, Zubac if Jackson is willing to play for a certain amount of money, then you keep him. They definitely got to do something with that bench. And
Serge back. Hopefully Serge can fucking stay healthy.
Serge. If Serge was healthy, that's a big key. He brings a lot of intangibles, defense. The switches ain't as bad. But they do need control. And I don't know if that's from a point guard standpoint, because now you keep Reggie Jackson. Is Reggie Jackson a NBA standard point guard? Can he really control the game and control the offense? Because that was the problem. It seemed like the Clippers just go out there and play. They don't have no format, no control, no identity, no set plays, none of that. Is give the ball to Kawhi, move out the way, he'll try to create something.
Let him create.
Give the ball to Paul George, move out the way, let him create, let him do something. Even with Reggie Jackson, give the ball to Reggie, move out the way. Even when Terrence Mann scored his 39, it was, oh shit, look who's over there, Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann to get the ball, dribble, try to, create something for himself. So there's no real control on that Clippers team. I honestly thought that's what they brought Rondo in for. but being his age and he's
And
not
we all know he got an attitude problem too. There might be some
that
behind the
too.
scenes shit.
Yeah, he's not the player he used to be. So I don't see him as the answer. So you need a point guard. You need something somewhat of a point guard. Who? I don't know. I would have to look to see who's free agent or who's out there. I don't say you need a big name. Maybe a Kyle Lowry. You could steal Kyle Lowry at his age for low money, for a 2-year deal, and maybe he can bring some control and everything there. And
That'd be a good fit,
definitely,
actually.
yeah, definitely. You need some sort of stretch for someone that could shoot the three. They didn't utilize Kennard enough, especially in this series. They didn't use him enough. I felt they should have, seeing that he does know how to shoot.
Stretch
But
the
they need a guy like that. They need more like a I would say a Porzingis, but a better version of a Porzingis, someone that's not hurt,
I was saying, I don't think that exists right now.
No, I mean, it does, but they not known. Like before this guy did what he did, a Myers Leonard type of dude. Like,
Your boy Marketing.
yeah, maybe him. But he stayed hurt as well. Like you want someone that got health on their side, and that's the problem with like a Porzingis or even a Laurie. Like those guys stay hurt. Like that's the problem with marketing. That's why I don't want him on the team no more. He just can't stay healthy.
So I think something that could be beneficial to them, because even though Kawhi and Paul George are technically wing players, they don't have that wing player like that you could kick it out to and hit that open three that could try and kind of control the pace. I think if they did a deal of either Beverly or Jackson and Man, and get them like a Harrison Barnes, Kelly Oubre type of player. Not necessarily those two specifically, but that type of Buddy Hield, like they could dribble it up the floor, they could shoot it, they could play defense, and it takes a little pressure off Kawhi and George. I think that would benefit them greatly if their big men can get healthy. If Zubac could come back and be healthy, if Serge could come back and be healthy, then I think a player, Alec Burks, as good of a season he had, would be another good player. Someone who can pace the offense, isn't necessarily a point guard, can shoot it, and when he needs to, get their own shot. I think a package deal of Man and either Beverly or Jackson could get them that type of player. I think that would be really helpful for them as a team. But if they can't get their big men back healthy, they need some big men, because when you got Batum playing at center, they look brilliant in round 2 because it matched up well. In round 3, that shit ain't flying when you got to do like Ayton and the big men that Phoenix have. Like, it didn't look as good. So they definitely gotta, like you said, Joe, figure out an identity and make a trade or a signing that's going to push them in that direction. If you need a point guard, go after Kyle Lowry. That would be a real good pickup for them. I don't know what their cap space situation is looking like, but you would think Lowry's at the point of his career, especially with the ring, would take a little less money to be on a team that's contending every year.
Yeah, and you got a chance to get another one. You could get another one.
But with all that said, if Kawhi leaves and you're left with Pandemic P as your star player, you got to start over, because you first and foremost, he can't be a number one player, and those players around him damn sure can't be his clearly cannot be who's just surrounding him with, because it's not going to get it done.
But if you lose Kawhi and you still got Paul George, you're not too far off, because you got a lot
you got to make moves.
Yeah,
you got to make moves.
You do, but you got a lot of disgruntled stars in other places. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wouldn't be nothing if I lose Kawhi. Now it's like, all right, hey Washington, what you want for Bradley Beal? Or Chicago, what do you want for Zach LaVine or something
But
like
do they
that?
have enough? Do they have enough to package that kind of deal?
I mean, once you lose Kawhi, now everyone is up for fucking grabs. As long as it's not Paul George, like you see what Reggie Jackson did, you see what Marcus Morris did, you see what Terrence Mann can do. So it's like these are guys that with the potential and with the time that you give them and the shot opportunities, they can score. So Washington, you're not going no fucking way anyway. Chicago, you might not go anywhere anyway. So what's up? You know what I'm saying? That's just examples. Like there's a lot of stars in disgruntled places. Like you mentioned, a Buddy Hield, a De'Aaron Fox, Sacramento not going anywhere. They got 2 stars, and with the way Halliburton is playing, it's rumored that they're trying to move one of those guys so that way Halliburton could get in the starting lineup and they can have that as their future. So, hey, De'Aaron Fox, why don't you come over here to the Clippers and you and Paul George can run this thing, and we get a big man, we get a center, we got Ibaka healthy, and if Kawhi leaves, I'm pretty sure wherever he goes,
it's going to be a contender.
They're going to have to get rid of, somebody. Unless he goes to a bum team. If you look at the contenders, if he goes to a contending team, they're going to have to get rid of something.
We know where he's going.
I mean, so that's what I was waiting for. So now let's take the rumored spot, Golden State.
Oh.
The rumored place is Golden State, right? If Kawhi goes to Golden State, what is Golden State doing with what you said, a Oubre, a Wiggins, something like that? It would have to be a sign and trade. They can't just do it the way they did it with Kevin Durant. They can't.
I mean, even that they had to get rid of Harrison Barnes to be able to take in Kevin Durant. So
it wasn't even just that. They got rid of Harrison Barnes. Wasn't making much, and he was a free agent, so they just let Harrison Barnes walk. The thing is Kevin Durant didn't ask for max money, and they didn't sign Steph yet. Steph wasn't signed to that max deal yet. So they didn't even if Oubre is a free agent, Wiggins is set to make over $30 million. So you got Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Andrew Wiggins. They are all making 30 and better, with Steph making 45 or 43, something like that. So your whole cap is tied up into those 4 players. So now you want to add a player like Kawhi that's going to command another 35 to 40 million. It's impossible. You're not going to be able to do that. So it would have to be a sign and trade for Kawhi.
Which it will be.
Will be. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it would have to be. So therefore the Clippers would get Andrew Wiggins or Kelly or both, or even a Wiseman as well, or something like that. So they're going to get something back in return if they lose Kawhi. It's not going to be the only way they could lose Kawhi without getting nothing is if Kawhi goes to a bum squad, and he's not going to do that. If he goes to any contender team, you look at the top 3 teams from the East and the West, if he goes to any one of those teams, then they're going to have to give up something. There's going to have to be a sign and trade.
That's not necessarily true, my friend, because who has some cap space.
Well, I said the top 3 teams. The Knicks ain't one of those, so you can just
they a top 4 team, which makes them not a bum team.
They
have money.
The Hawks knew what they was doing, letting the Knicks get the 4th seed.
The Clippers have more to offer than the Knicks.
But that's the thing. The Knicks don't have to offer anything. They could sign him straight up. There doesn't have to be a sign and trade. But they could just sign him.
But that's
it would use all of our money, yes. Right. We couldn't sign anybody else. Yeah, so we could do it.
But the Clippers would be losing out. You think the Clippers are going to let him walk?
The Clippers,
they don't have a choice. He's going to be a free agent. A free agent means he could do whatever the fuck he wants. He's not a restricted free agent. You have to take into account what the Clippers want.
You're right. You're right about that. But why would he do that and come to New York with nothing.
Well,
Said,
your definition of nothing is different than mine because
no, you just said
all their money will be tied.
Yeah, all their money would be tied into him. So it's like, who else? Who am I running this with in New York?
Oh, quickly, I forgot. Shit.
Like you
and your boy Obi.
Obi, he's in the room right now.
The only Obi I respect is Obi Trice.
What about Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Fuck that dude.
Wow, we're ending the stream.
All I'm saying is that it's a possibility. There's possibilities out there.
Yeah, listen.
Do I truly believe Kawhi ends up in New York? I do not. But
what if the Clippers do a deal with the Brooklyn Nets, and we give the Nets Kawhi for Kyrie and all of that. Seeing that
who's we? I thought Kyrie played for the Nets.
That's what I said. The Brooklyn Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets, not the Chicago Bulls.
Look, you see the shit, bro. I'm Brooklyn, baby.
Shorts on, baby.
Brooklyn,
you know what I mean?
Baby.
We're getting Kawhi.
But I mean, listen. There's tons, like you said. There's tons of scenarios. This would go a lot of ways. And it does depend on if Kawhi wants to stay. If he wants to stay, then none of this shit matters.
It's all dictated 100% on Kawhi.
It's going to be a hell of an off season,
and that's exactly how he likes it. That's how it was at the end with Toronto.
Right.
He got to make the decision. Didn't give a damn what Toronto thought. Toronto was bending over backwards for that man.
He should have stayed in Toronto. If he would have stayed in Toronto, they would have won again. He should have stayed in Toronto.
But he didn't. He went to LA.
And he hasn't won since.
It didn't work out.
It's been 2 years. They ain't win nothing. He should have stayed in Toronto.
He'll be in Golden State next season, and he'll win another one.
Let's just call it what it is. I got my Golden State gear ready.
If he ends up in Golden State, we already healthy. Once again, healthy.
If he ends up in Golden State, this Brooklyn shit will come off, and I got my Golden State gear ready.
My Steph Curry jersey back.
I learned from them fans that's out now. I'm not the old school fan I used to be. I'm this new era. I'm this new era type of fan. You know, I go where he go. You know,
who did I align myself with? I thought y'all were loyal sports fans, dedicated to your squads.
In baseball, yeah, I'm dedicated to my squad in baseball. But when it comes to this NBA shit, I go where he go. That's the motto, right?
Not my motto.
Wherever he go, that's where I go. So
if Kawhi's my guy.
If Kawhi go to Golden State, this Brooklyn should have come right the fuck off. And my Golden State gear is chilling. It's brand new, sitting in the wrappings, and the fresh new hat, fresh clothes. I'm Golden State, baby. Back on the Golden State.
Number 30.
Well, look, no matter what happens, I'm a Knicks fan like Vic over here till I die. I got him tatted on my skin. I'm a ride or die with the Knicks no matter what. I've been through too much to sell out now.
Hey,
too much.
That's even big enough reason to leave, man. That's like your girl. That's like your girl doing you dirty, man. You ain't gonna keep staying with her.
She ain't mean it. She ain't know no better.
She got pregnant by the next dude, and you said it's okay, baby. I'm gonna still be the father.
I'm gonna still be the father. That's my.
Yeah, I'm gonna still be the daddy. Don't worry.
Cool. I'm gonna sign that birth certificate. It's all good.
Well, with that being said, we gonna get on up out of here. Actually, no, we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna wrap it up with something different and new. Hopefully, y'all like it. Hopefully, y'all can learn some shit from us. We decided we're gonna end each episode giving y'all a little peek into us. Just give you our favorites in entertainment, movies, TV, music, whatever we decide we want to do. And if y'all haven't heard of it, go check it out. If you have heard of it, add us on the Facebook. Let's talk about it. I'll go first since it was kind of my idea and I just popped it up on these dudes today. I got an alert from Spotify today which they often do, and told me that there was a new Nas song out. So, me being who I am, I'm not Nas got a song. Apparently, according to Hit Boy, who produced the record, this is lyrics from 1995 that Nas recorded, and they just remixed. It's never been released before. It's called "Life Is Like a Dice Game," featuring Corday, who's a really dope new rapper. I think his name used to be YBN Corday. Now he's just Corday. And Freddie Gibbs, who I'm not a huge fan of, but he does have some pretty dope music.
Amazing.
So if you haven't heard that record yet, go listen to it. It is Nas, Corday, and Freddie Gibbs. Life Is Like a Dice Game. It is a Spotify single. Check that shit out because it is dope. I've been bumping it all day.
That's pretty dope, actually. I gotta check that out. Spotify didn't even notify me, bastards.
Really? Yeah, no, they sent it on my phone and they emailed that shit to me. They know how hard I go for Nas.
I gotta call him when I get off this stream. I'm gonna call him.
So, what you got?
Well, I don't have a Pacific. What the fuck is wrong with me? I don't have a specific song for the artist, but check out the artist Don Toliver. I don't know if anybody heard of him. He's from Houston, Texas. Dope artist. He's a songwriter, R&B, kind of does a little hip hop. Just check out his music in general. Don't look for one specific song, but definitely check him out. He's 27 years old. So yeah, Don Toliver. Give him a listen, and let us know what you think about him on the next episode.
Cool.
I'm not really into hip hop and all that like I used to be. Not gonna get into reasons why, but check out the Marshall Mathers LP. That's the shit right there.
Definitely don't check out Eminem at all.
The first one, not the second one. The first Marshall Mathers LP. Listen to the song Marshall Mathers. That's my shit right there.
We do not kill our mothers over here. Do not listen to Joe.
I mean, look. We don't kill our mothers, but that Kim bitch can go. Yeah. But
I'll tell you right now, Joe, you just made a best friend because my homie Ryan, who made a comment earlier, I know he listens weekly. Shout out to him. He is the biggest Eminem fan I know. So I know y'all too. Well, y'all can argue over that shit because I'm with Vic, so y'all can argue over that.
I haven't been on the Eminem kick for a while. He's really been disappointing me. He, instead of him maintaining who he was and what he was about, he started, trying to appease the young kids, and I don't like that. Stick to what you know, stick to what you're good at, and what made you and got you here. I don't know.
Well, if you get a friend request from a dude named Ryan, that's my homie, and y'all could talk all about it.
I got no problems with that. But yeah, I ain't into the hip hop thing. But I do play music and make music. So if anybody need any mixes or anything like that, holla at me. I'll see what I can do. I also got connects on beats and everything, instrumental, stuff like that. If you need something sent to you or whatever, you're a rapper or whatever, holla at me. I do those things. I'm also looking into doing little mixes and putting it on YouTube maybe. So check that out. Be on the lookout for that.
Dope. And there it is. And we will let you know we'll let y'all know where you can check all that shit out. I'm sure you got links that we can post on the Facebook. So
yeah, no doubt.
We'll post that to the group for anybody looking out. Ryan, you missed it. Ryan, you're gonna want to go back and listen because Joe gonna make you real proud. And
your buddy Joseph is gonna make you real upset.
Detroit.
He's used to that. He's used to that.
Detroit.
So he might block me then. It's all good.
I got a Detroit hat as well. So
and I did PB. You referenced Obi Trice earlier too. Only Eminem fans know who Obi Trice is.
Real name, no gimmicks.
Yeah, he's locked up right now. Did he like shoot his stepson or something like that? Or
I don't pay attention. Listen, I don't pay attention to people's personal lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying?
Jail for attempted murder.
Long as you don't do that shit in front of me, we cool. You know what I'm saying? You start digging into these people's personal lives, It's crazy. It's crazy. They all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z
on that
got
note,
his nephews killed.
yeah.
So
On
We're
that
not gonna
note,
get into that.
exactly.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And on that note, only if she got some teeth, we out.
that's right. That's right. It's my favorite song. Sing along when a DJ throws it on. That's my shit.